Grace Caral, your Usana Philippines Sales Manager for Visayas. And I'm going to be joined this morning by our Usana Philippines Sales and Marketing Director, Ms. Lisbeth Jose, and we're going to be your host for today's sixth installment of our Sustaining Momentum webinar series. And today we're going to have a very important topic. It's about habits and life goals, which we hope to share a lot to all of you, our Usana associates from the Philippines, Indonesia, and Thailand, so that it will hopefully be very useful for your personal and your business lives. And so, all right. So before we start, may we just request everyone to please turn off their cameras and microphones for the entire duration of this training, so that we can concentrate on our speakers for this morning. Okay, once again, may we request everyone to please keep our cameras and microphones turned off so that we will not be distracting our participants and our speakers for this morning. Okay, so once again, like I said, we are joined today by associates from Philippines, Usana Philippines. Can you please type one in the chat box, associates from Usana Philippines, so that we can feel your presence here. All right, and from the Indonesia and Thailand, and they also see us there. They're joining us this morning. So thank you. And so it's going to be a two-part training. There's going to be two speakers, great speakers, okay? And our first speaker will be talking about the theoretical side of it. And our second speaker will be talking more on the practical side of it. Like as an associate, how does she apply the habits and life goals discussed by our first speaker? So I will not hold you any further. I will turn you over to our Usana Philippines Sales and Marketing Director for the introduction of our first speaker this morning. Ma'am Lisbeth?
Yes, hello everyone. Can you hear me? Can
Yes,
you
ma'am, we
please
can hear
type
you.
one on the chat box if you can hear me clearly? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so it's my honor to introduce our first speaker for today. And he is actually a friend of Usana, one of the most respected business speakers in the Philippines and a recipient of the Outstanding Filipino Award in 2014. He is an entrepreneur and is very well versed in the field of manufacturing and retail. He also sits on the board of Primer Holdings Incorporated. He also has a segment in a radio program called Business Matters, where he shares insights on business, values, and leadership. He's also a columnist for the Philippine Star, and his column has been awarded Best Business Column for the years 2009, 2010, 2013 to 2015, and is a Hall of Fame awardee in 2016 by the Catholic Mass Media Awards. So friends, let's all welcome Usana's dear friend, Sir Francis Kong. Hello, Sir Francis.
Morning, sir.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. How are you guys?
Very good, Sir
Great, sir.
Francis.
Good. And I'm so very happy to be here with you this morning. Well, it's morning here in Manila. And I'm so happy to see we've got friends from all over the place. We've got friends from our Indonesian friends. I want to greet you. I want to greet our friends. I see people from Abu Dhabi and from all over the world. I I think I saw somebody from the planet Mars, but I'm not too sure. Maybe we have a distributor there. But thank you for having me, and I'm so glad to be with you. And to all of you who are participating, a blessed day to you, and thank you for sharing your time with me. And I'm so happy that God has been keeping and blessing you, son. Why? Because this business is continuously on the growth trajectory While the pandemic has caused a lot of businesses not to be able to meet their targets and their goals, and yet here we are doing very, very well. And so we have very, very good performances. So I want to thank you guys for your performance and your hard work. And on the personal note, I just want to thank you for bringing me back to have this time with you. So many things are changing. And note this, so many things are just changing so fast. We would have thought that with the lockdown and the pandemic, time seems to be moving by so slowly. Actually, no. What has happened is that this pandemic has sped up changes, and then it's going to be very important for us to understand that there is a need for urgency. Speed today becomes a game changer. You guys here in the Philippines, you know, can you imagine from the last time I was with Usana during the game changer event? I'm not sure whether some of you were there. Within that space until now, which is just a few weeks, I've already done about 65 webinars with a lot more to come. This afternoon, I have another one. So many things have changed. The economy is beginning to open up bit by bit and cautiously, which is very good. Many of my clients are requiring their people to go back to the physical office to work. There's a blended way of doing work from home and reporting to the physical offices. Now, take note, churches and places of worship are about to open. Some of them are opening in a reduced capacity. Why? Because the government is now asking the churches to help minister to people who are suffering from high anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. Domestic tourism is opening up, not international yet. You know, every time I think about Indonesia, Bali comes into the picture because I've been there many times giving conferences. Well, local tourism is picking up, and yet don't expect the foreign tourism to open up soon. I did a webinar for the country's biggest real estate developer recently, and this is a comment I got from the participants. They realized that so many things have changed because the last time I was with them was pre-COVID times. And then one of them says, Grabe, terrible, unbelievable. He was saying, there was a time when Francis Kong looks like a local Filipino famous musician, composer, and singer to the name of my friend Joe. Now, now he looks so different because he is now sporting gray hair. So he looks like Anderson Cooper. No, of course not. That is an unfair comparison. I'm a lot older than Anderson Cooper, and I think this would be an upgrade for me, but let us not compare apples with oranges. Let us provide a more justifiable comparison. Perhaps I look more like this famous guy. Not exactly. Well, it wouldn't work. I think the next one I'm going to show you would work. Maybe I look more like this guy. Now, you're Usana, you're my friend, so you're supposed to say yes, right? As your support. Here's the key. No matter how hard I try to Photoshop myself and photos, it's very hard to put up a persona. Lesson number one. Do you know that the word persona in the Greek, or specifically in the early 20th century Latin, the word persona literally means mask. In Filipino, we call that mascara. It is a mask. So it's a character played by an actor. This is where you get the word personality. And so a good word for us to learn every time we talk about personality, we are essentially saying that the person that we see on stage or on screen may not necessarily be the character, and the person may not be the same. So we need to understand that. Now, The pandemic has already eliminated a lot of fakery and pretensions. In other words, this pandemic has forced us to understand kahit nakamaskara ka pa, even if you're wearing a mask, this pandemic has already differentiated what is real and what is not real. Companies that used to boast of being number one are quiet these days. Personalities that pretend to be rich and powerful and wealthy, they're quiet too. Some people used to be good, but only in IG and FB. They're still wearing masks and pretending to be successful, but reality does not coincide with their claims. But then, there are the real successful business people. I know them because they're my clients. The only difference is that while their businesses are growing and they are earning a lot more, this is not the proper time for them to be boasting about their sales growth because it will make them sound insensitive. It's not appropriate at this time, but I can assure you, many of these people are growing and they are being successful and they're getting to be even more successful. The pandemic has affected them, but it has not stopped them from achieving more success. And that's what I'm going to be talking about. First, let me tell you what success is not. Let's start with what success isn't. One, success is not talent. There are so many talented winos and alcoholics and addicts out there. They depended on their talents, they never matured. Do you realize that talent is God given? Our natural giftings. Some of you can sing well, some of you can dance well. In Filipino, let me go straight. Yung iba sa inyo magaling kumanta, yung iba sa inyo magaling sumayaw, yung iba sa inyo magaling umawit, yung iba sa inyo magaling magsalita, yung iba sa inyo magaling malakas kumain. Those are God-given talents. But you don't allow the talent to remain as it is. Talents work like muscles. You lose it because you don't use it. You have to convert your talent into an acquired skill. Next, success is not education alone. Successful criminals, they're all over the place. Somebody says the difference between the criminal and the unethical person is that the unethical person has not yet been caught. He's still in prison. Now, success is not luck. It's not good fortune either. Ask the fortune tellers and the feng shui experts now, they're having one heck of a problem because their credibility now is being challenged by the mass ocean of humanity asking them, how could the pandemic not be in the radar of your prophecies and your fortune telling? So now they cannot even explain and excuse their way out. And so, let me tell you why successful people are successful. This principles I'm going to be presenting to you has been proven to work 100% all the time without fail. Would you guys like to know? You know, when I ask you a question, would you guys like to know, knowing Usana, if this were an in-person or a live event, I would be hearing people shouting out all over the place, yes! So now we are in a webinar. The only thing I can see are exclamation points and all caps yes with multiple S's. Thank you. So I'm going to tell you. Let me share some knowledge and I hope you will find them useful. However, before I do that, allow me to teach you the process of learning. Very important that we understand this first. Knowledge is powerful, isn't it? Yes, knowledge is powerful. But let me give you the characteristic of knowledge. Let me give you the DNA of knowledge. Let me make you understand these are the peculiarities of knowledge. Knowledge is a snob. Sa Tagalog po, knowledge is suplado. Mayabang, proud, Knowledge is boastful. Why? Because knowledge wants to be sought. You have to seek knowledge. Knowledge doesn't care about you. You have to find your way to seeking knowledge. Rarely does knowledge come and interrupt you while you are doing Mobile Legend and Minecraft and Fortnite. You have to stop all of this and then seek knowledge. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. Now, the beauty of Usana is that there is a continuous provision of training where you can get knowledge in order for you to succeed, like what is happening now. The question now is, with all the knowledge that has been provided, are you able to understand it? That's the second challenge, isn't it? Now, take a look at ancient scriptures. We call it the Bible. There are three words that constantly appear: knowledge, understanding, wisdom. They're not the same. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Let me give you the different characteristics of which. First, knowledge is the input of data and information. Right now, wherever you are in the world, you may be in Indonesia, some of you are in Abu Dhabi or other places of the world, you are consuming knowledge. So, knowledge and information now are entering your mind. So, what about understanding? Understanding is the processing of the data and the information that you have just consumed. You process it, you try to understand it. Next, wisdom is the right use of the process, idea, and information, or the elimination and the eradication of the process, ideas, and information and data that will not bring you benefit. In fact, not all knowledge are good knowledge. Not all knowledge are truthful. And so you eliminate it and you eradicate it. So, there are three things that are not the same. So today, you will be given knowledge. In fact, you have had a series of wonderful learning wherein speakers before me had given you a lot of information and knowledge. So the question now is, have you processed it? Now, even the more important question now is, now that you have processed it, have you eliminated the things that you feel will not work, and have you embraced and actually applied the process information that you have so that you now become wise? That's where wisdom comes into the picture, isn't it? Now, learning is always a process. Just by attending this one will not make you learn. You have to go through this process, but I'm going to ask you another more serious question. How come there are people who have been given the knowledge, they have processed the information and understood, and yet they still cannot arrive at the stage of wisdom, or they may have a little bit of the wisdom for a while, and then it's not sustainable. They go back to the same defeating lives that they live. They still live in a house they don't want to live in. They still earn the amount of money they wish they would have earned more. They still are working the job that they hated. They're still living the life that they wish could have been better. Why? Let me tell you why. You have to go through the process, but you have to understand a very important principle. Knowledge is powerful, but there is still something. Even when knowledge is powerful, understanding the process and the wisdom is powerful, there is still something else that is so extremely powerful that it can totally decimate and eliminate all those three words. So the question now is, would you like to know what that is? Let me tell you what it is. While knowledge is powerful, there is something more powerful than knowledge. And what would that be? You know what it is? Habits. My goodness. Habits are more powerful than knowledge. Let me give you an example. Question. Now, you may answer through the chat box, you may seek not to, but let me ask you a question. Do you guys know that prolonged smoking will cost you a lot of money? Yes or no? Yes. Next question. Do you guys know that prolonged smoking is a contradictory to good health? Yes or no? Yes. Last question. Do you guys know that prolonged smoking can cause cancer? Yes or no? Yes. Next question. How many among you you're still smoking? And how many among you would know people? Suddenly there's no longer any yeses in the chat box. Or how many among you know people who knows, but then they still smoke? Did you notice that? The knowledge that they have in their mind, which they understood anyway, or maybe one time they quit, but then they go back to the old habits. That's why I'm telling you guys, habits are more powerful than knowledge and even wisdom. So, here's the key. Successful people have winning habits. They go for the win. It's not because they are more educated. It's not because they are more intelligent. It's not because they attend more webinars and seminars. It's not because luck or fortune. It is because they have cultivated winning habits. Now, what I wish is that this principle I'll be presenting to you, you would gather the knowledge and process it and apply it. And most importantly, you're going to make it a habit. And so when you possess these winning habits, you're going to find the trajectory of your life beginning to experience incremental progress and success until one day you will be delightfully surprised. No, I'm already here. But you don't stop there. And then you're going to say, wow, I'm now so motivated because I have won, and I will continue with my winning path. I posted this in my Facebook page the other day and got an enormous amount of likes and comments and shares. This is what I said. The grind, the hustle, the setbacks, the rebound, the learning, those quiet little incremental improvements, the constant pursuit for excellence. Don't give up. Don't be bored. Don't be distracted. Trust me, one day, all of these things will pay off. Why? Because they become a part of you. It becomes your winning habit. And that's why the winning habits for success is what I'm going to share with you. Now, understand, these are not rocket science. They are super simple things we may have neglected and forgotten, but when you have given it a firm determination to make these become habits in your life, then success is doable and achievable. So, I'm going to share with you the following things. Winning habit number one, get a calculator and learn to count. My goodness, what is this speaker trying to say? Well, you got to get a calculator and learn to count. Why is that so? People are usually counting the wrong things. What are the wrong things that they are counting? Some people, the only thing that they know how to count is money. How much money do I have to make so that I can pay the bills and the debts I have accumulated? Others, they don't even know how to count the urgency of time. They are usually counting the wrong things because the only thing they know is to count money, which is wrong. Others, the only thing they keep on counting is the offenses and the violations and the insults they got from their friends and their loved ones. Maybe that's the reason why today they're so lonely and they're so sad and they're so depressed. Counting is very important, I'm telling you. And let me share with you one observation I have seen about our local folks in our country. Filipinos love rushing during the last minute because they don't know how to count the preciousness of time. Complete the sentence. Time is fill in the blank. What? Some of you are going to say time is gold. Others will say time is money. Listen, time is time. Why? If you make money and you lose it, you can re earn it. If you buy gold, now it's dropping, but there was a time it was increasing. You make money out of it, you can still recover. But once you waste time, time is irredeemable. So, deadlines always make people productive. Did you notice that? But what if you do it early and apply the extra time to do some things more or to enjoy the rewards? Procrastination, my goodness, has killed a lot of potential. If we only understand the value of time and do what needs to be done immediately, then this leaves us so much room to do much more. I'm a very impatient person. My driving sentiment, everybody in the family knows this. Here's my philosophy. If I have to do it anyway, why don't I do it right away? Very, very simple to understand. Let me repeat. If I have to do it anyway, why don't I do it right away? Why is this so? Because we forget. We get distracted. And then there's Mobile Legend, there's binging on Netflix series, there's Dota, and there's a lot more other things that sucks up our energy and our attention. And then without you noticing it, the most precious resource is already gone. And that's time. And then when you get a warning saying, oh, cut off, my goodness, that's the time that you're going to be doing a sloppy job. And then you've just wasted so much resource. And then you try to cover it up with a lot of things. Guess what? That is the habit that is destructive to you. You won't get far when you have that habit of not knowing how to count the urgency of time. Next, some people, they're so poor with mathematics. They only know how to keep on counting the money they will still have to earn. In other words, they're so happy thinking that money will come forever. And so they stop learning, and then the pandemic hits them. They quit driving for more success. They get comfortable and they start failing. Others are counting the money they still don't have. And yet they're thinking about what to spend on and how to spend it already. This is so dumb. You know why? Counting the chicks before the eggs are hatched? My goodness. Then they get into trouble because they don't even save money, grow money, invest money, and they don't even have an emergency fund. And then when an emergency happens, where do you think they're going to get the source? Have you ever wondered? One question I want you to understand. Have you ever wondered? Have you ever wondered why this? You know, they're my friends, right? These are the wealthy taipans and the tycoons, not the typhoons, by the way. These taipans and tycoons, they're so rich. How come they still want to make more money? Wrong counting. For goodness sake, you got to understand. They are rich and they're still driving themselves so hard, not because they want to make money. I mean, they've got more money than their 3 or 4 lifetime can ever spend. They keep on doing it because it is not part of their system. It is part of their winning habit. They hate the prospect of not doing anything. They hate the prospect of wasting time. They understand that everything you do now can either add value to you or subtract and reduce the value that you have, and whether it will add on to your successes or to make you fail in the long run. Last thing about money I'm going to share with you now is this. Do you know the difference between how winners count money and how losers count money? Let me tell you the difference. Winners count their money this way. I'm going to speak in Filipino, then I'll translate to English. Winners count their money this way. Ano ka ba, pare? Pera yata yan. What are you thinking of? That's money, right? That's money. Losers think that way. Winners do not think this way. Winners think, ano ka ba, pare? Pera lang naman yan. In English, what are you thinking about? That's only money. In other words, they're saying there are so many more important things than money. Word of honor, dignity of labor, loving God, loving the neighbors, dignity, family, all these things. How do you put a price tag on things like this? And that's why one of the sure habits that I have seen in my many years of existence in this decaying planet is that the people with the wrong sense of counting money, ano ka ba, pera lang yan. Pera yata yan. These are the people who have experienced momentary success, but it's never long enough to sustain it. Give them enough hope, give them enough rope, and they're going to hang themselves. When they put money on top of everything, money is a very delightful outcome for doing a good job well. But you don't follow the principle of the end justifies the means. No, you got to do the right thing. You got to develop the right habits. You got to be serving your clientele. You got to be good and respectful with your upline, and you got to help and you got to care for your downlines. And these are the things that can lead you to having a good outcome of making money. The end does not justify the means. Have you ever encountered people who are so proud and rude and arrogant because they are focused only on making money? Let me tell you what. The end does not justify the meanness. So, you still have to understand the value of ethics and integrity and godly principles that you and I have to espouse. Let me give you winning habit number 2. I don't care how much money you make, honestly. But what I do care about is that you gotta celebrate your life's greatest rewards with your family, whether there's money or whatever achievements you have given. USANA is a magnificent organization. USANA knows how to recognize people. Every time you go up the rank, every time you achieve something spectacular, and then USANA now always rewards and recognize their people. So not everything is in terms of money, although money is a delightful outcome. But my question now is this. Are you celebrating your life's most rewarding rewards with the people who matter to you the most? And that's your family, isn't it? Celebrate your life's victories and triumphs with the most important people in your life, and that's your family. Most businessmen I know celebrate it with their friends. They have happy hour, they go to the bars and they go to the nightclubs, and that's wrong. You know why? They may be wealthy, and I have had a few of them. The most regrettable words you're going to hear people say are the loneliest words in the world when they say, what's the meaning to all of this that I have done? I worked hard for them. Sure. But maybe you really work hard for yourself. Because when you really work hard for them, then you will gonna be with them and you don't neglect them and you care for them. There were two monumental celebrations we had in my house during the lockdown. The first one is the birthday celebration of my grandson, Mateo, whom we lovingly call the chairman. He looks like a sushi there in that photo. First birthday, we converted that place in our house and turned it into a citrus farm. And a lot of people thought that we celebrated outside. No, our children would not allow their parents to go out of the house. This is a time when parents will have to obey their children. And so I now have a little bit of a challenge with the chairman. The chairman sees me doing webinars every day, and then he wants to give his webinars too. And I have to tell him, wait your turn, all right? So, another monumental event that has happened to me during the lockdown is that we celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary with the Ilocana. Now, that's a term of endearment I gave to my wife. And now you have to understand this 40 years of marriage, 9 years of friendship before we got married. That's 49 years, man. And so what? I posted this in my Facebook. I said, one day I saw the Ilocana walking along the streets. My eyes fixated on her, and I never looked back. So we did not have money, both of us, but she trusted me. And so I have done some pretty stupid decisions with my life. I have lost businesses. I have lost money. But she will always be there to comfort me and to encourage me and to build up the confidence that I needed to have. We did not have money, and so our first date was, can you guys guess where? This became the lyrics of a popular song, OPM to eh. And then we lived it. Guess what? Our first date, because we did not have money, exactly, it was in Luneta Park. We were in a relationship long, and now guess what? We are now together, and we're enjoying each other's company. On September 14, our kids celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary at home. And so I said, the Ilocana, my wife and I, we are so together. We are like popcorn and Netflix because we have crash landed on each other. So, leadership starts at home. The most tragic thing that can ever happen to your life is you're going to be earning money, and I hope you keep it, but you have lost the trust and the respect and the relationship of the people who matter to you the most. In this business, Usana business, I have discovered that when both husband and wife are in partnership, not only in business but in life together, then they do very well. In fact, they do even better. Do not neglect your family. Always be in a loving partnership with your spouse and with your kids. Be supportive, be encouraging. That is the one lesson that you need to remember, apart from the others that I'm going to share with you. The Ilocana has a wealthier family background. I did not. I'm going to show you the house I was born into and the bed I was born into. I was not born I was not born in a hospital, all right? If you can take a look at that tiny house, I was so surprised because I visited that 4 months ago, 6 months ago. No, I'm sorry. Last year pala, before the pandemic, it's still there. So I took this photo. Now take a look at that old house. That's not the entire house. Look at the encircled part. That's the tiny little place that my parents and I we occupied. And I was born in that bed. So I kept that bed for a while until it took up so much space and I gave it away. I wasn't born in a hospital. And so what happened? I hated being poor. I envied my classmates who were rich. And I always thought like, why is life unfair? Why am I always a victim? One day, I read a book. You know the author. The author is a very close friend of Usana. I had the privilege of sharing the speaker's platform with him long before I even knew what Usana was. And his name is Dr. Dennis Waitley. And Dr. Dennis Waitley says something that changed my mind. He says, the world does not owe you a living. The world was already here long before you arrived or you were born. I said, my goodness, that's so true. Why do I think that the world owes me a living? Why do I keep on thinking like I'm a victim? Meaning, if you want to have success, you need to work for it. That changes everything, man. Working for it does not mean I start strong. It also means I finish well. In other words, working for success becomes a habit. And that's why I owe that mindset change to Dr. Dennis Whaley, plus a host of other authors too. The habit of working on my family relationship is still something that I still do now. Two things I have learned in my life. Number one, I don't just live my life automatically. You don't wake up in the morning and expect yourself to become better and brighter. You gotta live your life skillfully. It's not just doing presentations, it's not just doing your business. Life entails skills. You have to update and upgrade your skills. Next, the next thing I have learned in my life is this: I don't expect my marriage to work. That's why I work on my marriage every day. Every day is a constant show of care, constant show of love, and a constant habit of caring and building that relationship. The Ilocano and I, my wife and I, were not exactly spring chicken today. But I can tell you that relationship has blossomed over time. Winning habit number three: you got to feed your mind with good thoughts. You got to cultivate a positive growth mindset. Yes, your thought life is a product of the habits you feed in your mind. A mindset is defined as an attitude or inclination. It is also defined as a fixed attitude, disposition, or mood. The things in your mind, the thoughts in your mind, are more important than the things in your life. Never forget that. And so, the mind is a battleground. There are generally two kinds of mindset that you can find with people. I don't have time to expound on this, but I'm going to recommend a seminal work of Dr. Dweck, Carol Dweck, entitled The Mindset. And that is a book I feel that you should invest time in reading. In general, people have one that would be dominant: the fixed mindset or the growth mindset. Now, let's take a look at the difference. Fixed mindset says success comes from talent. Growth mindset says success comes from effort. Fixed mindset says I'm either smart or I am dumb. Growth mindset says I can grow my intelligence. Fixed mindset says I don't like challenges. And the moment they feel something is hard, they quit. Growth mindset says I will embrace challenges because it is a chance to grow. Fixed mindset says failure means I can't do it. It's not within my capacity. This is a favorite expression. I'm not born into it. Favorite expression is it's not my job. Ah, fixed expression is this is too much for me. I don't think I have the calling to do this. These are for the more spiritual people. Growth mindset says, well, failure means I'm learning. Fixed mindset says feedback is a personal attack. You know, when the mentor or the upline says, it would be very good if you improve this. Why is he insulting me? Why is he offending me? Feedback helps me grow. That's the mindset of a growth mindset. Fixed mindset says, if you succeed, I feel threatened. Growth mindset says, if you succeed, I'm inspired. Fixed mindset says, if something is too hard, I quit. This is the favorite expression. This job is not for me. This job is not for me. I learned something now from my 1-year-old grandson. He's walking. Look, if you are mothers, let me ask you a question. The first time a baby begins to walk, does the baby fall down? Yes. So what do? Do you stop and let the baby says, I don't think the baby has the talent for that. That's just life. He's not fortunate enough to walk. No. So what do? You pick up the child begins to stumble a little bit. So the next time he walks, how many steps? Maybe two, three. Does the child fall? Yes. So what do? Ah, he's so stubborn and so hard-headed, you can't even teach him. No. The child picks up. And then what about the next try? The next time the child tries it. How many steps? Four, five, six. Now I see my grandson walking all over the place. Good. Now here's my question. Have you ever heard a child say, I don't think walking is for me? Duh. You have to understand that thing. You don't say, I don't think this job is for me. If you don't have the guts and the determination to try it and to work on it. People say, Francis, you're so good as a public speaker. Were you born with that talent? I said, are you kidding me? Have you ever seen the baby born beginning to say, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears? That's crazy. But the first time I did it, I bombed. But then I picked myself up. And then it became 2 steps, 4 steps, and 8 steps. It's a good thing I never said, I don't think speaking is for me. Always remember that. What about the growth mindset? For the fixed mindset, if something's too hard, I quit because this job is not for me. But the growth mindset says, I keep trying even when I'm frustrated. That's the reason why I highly recommend that book because it's going to be very helpful for you. And never say, I know, I know. Have you ever met people just when you're saying, I know, I know, I know? I can assure you that person doesn't know. And so, instead, develop curiosity to know more and to know how to be better. Never say, been there, done that. You continue to pursue personal growth. As you begin to learn new things, you will have to make adjustments. You will have to make mistakes, but you're going to learn from it. You will find things uncomfortable, but you will grow and you will become better. Do not fear failures or mistakes. These are necessary ingredients for strength and growth to happen. Don't forget this one. If you are green, then you're growing. But if you are ripe, then you are rotting. Do not seek for success. Seek for growth. Growth leads to progress. Progress leads to success. Success is not a destination. It is not an end goal. It is a continuous journey. Why? Let me explain. Success is never static. It's a moving target. Well, you grapple with success, you wrestle with success. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you lose it, but then you run after it. And now that you've gotten it, that prepares you to enter the next level, the next ranking, and you don't stop and then you repeat the process, isn't it? Here's the key. Sometimes when we look at people who are so successful, you see the celebration of success. What is invisible is the process behind the success. Go back. It's the daily grind. It's the wrestling. It's the bouncing back. It's what I posted. Whenever you meet a challenge, do not pre-qualify yourself in the negative. That is another thing I learned from one of the speakers and the authors of the books I read. Do not pre-qualify yourself in the negative. What does that mean? You haven't even given it a try. And then you tell yourself, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think this job is for me. You pre-qualify yourself in the negative even before you enter the venture. Do not say, I don't think it will work. As long as it is not illegal and it is not immoral, I will always take up the challenge. And then be curious and take it. I created a name in the garments industry. That's why I can joke around with Joe Marichan because he became my model when I invented a local jeans brand called Company B in the Philippines, became very famous. But my entry into the garments business was not glamorous at all. I started work by changing the clothes of mannequins and fixing show windows. And I reasoned to myself and I said, no job is without dignity. I'm not stealing anyway. But then I did not want to stay there. That's why I started buying books. We were we were not rich. My wife handles the money. That's why the partnership is good. I spend, she saves. I make, I give it to her. But every time I talk to her and I say, sweetheart, I need money to buy a book, she will always support me. And guess what she will do? She will sacrifice. That's the importance of investing in a family relationship. And then I would read books. And I challenged myself and I said, I'm not going to stay in this ranking, fixing show windows for the rest of my life. No way. I was 30 years old then. No, I was 28 years old. And I said, I'm going to fix my eyes now on sales. And then I studied and read up and attended meetings. And then I went into sales. Guess how many sales I was able to make? Zero. So frustrating. But instead of giving up, I was more challenged. And I said, maybe the timing was not right. And so I went into sales. In just a few months, I turned out to be the top salesperson in our company. Then I set my eyes on the next ranking. And I said, I want to be the sales director of this company. I made it, but there were a lot of oppositions. You got to understand. And then I said, no, this is not in this. There's still a lot of things I can do. I'm going to set my eyes on being the top guy in this company. And I became the general manager. And then after that, I became an entrepreneur because there will come a time when you become so good, you establish a name in the industry, even though I don't have money. And there will be other people who've got excess money with lacking in knowledge, and they will want to partner with me. And that was exactly what happened. So I became an entrepreneur, industrial partner. That started my career in business. And so from show window into owning my business. Next, I started selling. I started speaking. And then what happens now? The radio station asked me. And then I said, okay, let's try it. Entered into the radio. Until now, I still have that radio segment. It's been 20 plus years. That's Monday to Friday. And then the newspapers called up, wanted me to be a columnist. I accepted it. And then there's an offer from the printing publishing company for me to write books. Guess what happened? I will always barge and enter into every challenge thinking that it's not immoral, it's not illegal. I'm going to be learning, I'm going to be growing anyway. That's what life should be for you. You should constantly get into the habit of accepting challenges, get into the habit of learning, get into the habit of bettering yourselves, get into the habit of bettering your family, get into the habit of learning how to count money correctly. And so, let me give you the last one. These are not all extensive, but for the time that we have. You got to invest in your personal relationship with God. Man, that's the North Star. That's the compass point. It is the very center that can hold you together. Every morning, you need to create a habit of having a private appointment with yourself. You got to do your quiet time. Spend time with your maker. This is very commonsensical. You know why? You can put up a persona, you can put up a mask, and maybe we can fool everyone, including our family. But how can you fool yourself when you deal with God? He knows everything. And so, this is very commonsensical. Why? When we do so, I haven't changed my routine since May of 1985 until now. Every morning, including this morning, I start my time with doing quiet time. Well, what is quiet time? I read scriptures, God talks to me, I pray, I talk to God. So we have a nice conversation going on, isn't it? I'm beginning to learn. And there are many times when through scriptures alone, I am being prepared to enter some challenges I did not even know would be there. You know, over time, I have always maintained a journal since 1985. Can you imagine how long that is? Today, when I look back, I can see God's footsteps in my life. I can see the I can see the fact that I went through this major trial, and then 2 years later, the reason why I am in this position because I had to go through that trial. And then you begin to see God's plan for you. And that's fantastic. I would suggest you keep a journal as well. You need to be who you are whenever you are, wherever you are, no matter who you are with. The worst thing that can happen to us is when we keep on fooling people to the point that we begin to fool ourselves. That's why when you are in your quiet time, you deal with God and you cannot hide from Him, and neither can you fool Him. Our life should be a life of daily repentance. And that's why He says His mercies are new every morning. Very strange. The government has requested the help of churches and worship centers to open in a reduced capacity, but they have encouraged people, they have encouraged churches to be able to help them minister and serve people who are now having high anxiety, mental health issues, depression, and many on the brink of suicide. 3 days ago, I just had one send me a private message telling me that she is suffering from depression, and she showed me some chemicals in front of her. And she says, I want to take my own life now, but there's a voice inside me telling me that I shouldn't. And I pointed out to her that, you know where that voice is coming from? You have two voices. The voice that tells you to end your life, I can assure you it's not the voice of God. But the voice that tells you you shouldn't, it is. So your life will be anchored if you stick close and creating vibrant one-on-one relationship with your maker. Ever since 1985, my entire life comes into order. I began to change my stupid bad habits. The bad habits of vices and wasting time and spending money with friends, getting into happy hour, going into different vices, they are now replaced with practices and habits that turn out to be better. Why? His mercies are new every morning. Why are there people who are wealthy in money and rich in power yet they are not happy? Well, my Oxford professor friend Michael Ramsden says, everybody wants to be happy, but not many people know how. Do you know that in life, we are not made happy by what we acquire, but by what we appreciate? And then he levels it up. He says, it is not that you have nothing to be grateful for. It is that there is no one to be grateful with. How can you be grateful when your family has lost their respect? And you can't be grateful by yourself, can you? And then he upgrades it again. Michael Ramsden says, It is not that we have nothing to be grateful for. It is that we need someone to be grateful to. That explains the reason why. You got to set your sight on the things that are above. And Jesus did say, seek first his kingdom and all these things, and his righteousness and all these things will be added unto you. So let's summarize. Winning habit number one, you got to get a calculator and learn to count. Winning habit number two, celebrate your life's greatest rewards with your family. Winning reward habit number three, you got to feed your mind with good thoughts. And winning habit number four, you got to invest in a personal relationship with God. Life is not what happens, it's how you take it. You cannot remove a bad habit. Nature abhors a vacuum. You can only replace a bad habit with a good one. And so, this is my way of saying, now that you have been given the knowledge, you might want to process it with understanding and then apply it so that you can have the wisdom and then develop it so that this now becomes part of your integral winning habits and you won't go wrong. Enjoy your habit building journey. Thank you for giving me your time and God bless you.
Wow, thank you so much, Sir Francis. There you go,
Thank
ladies and gentlemen. What a very thought-provoking and insight-filled talk, sir. And as you can see in the chat box, all the participants were very, very engaged. They
thank
had
you.
a lot of reactions, sir, and they have a lot of messages for you there. Thank you so much, the great Francisco. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And so, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, our speaker for the first part of this morning, the great Mr. Francis Kong. And so we do not end there. We are going to have another uh, a second part of this training, and maybe if we still have time, we can have Sir Francis for a few question and answer portion later on. Hopefully, we can have that. And so before we leave for our break for after the first part, can we please see in the chat box some words? Can you please type in the chat box a word or a phrase that struck you the most from the talk of Sir Francis? Whatever comes to mind first, a word or a phrase in the chat box to describe what struck you the most from the talk of Sir Francis. Seek for growth, north. Okay, there you go. Great. They have a lot of takeaways, sir. So thank you so much. So for now, we are going to take a break for a 10-minute break, and then we are going to be back for the second part of our training this morning with our Executive Two-Star Diamond Director, Ms. Lieshel Yambao. Please do not leave the Zoom meeting room. Just turn off your microphones and your camera, and then we will see you after 10 minutes. Thank you. And so now we are ready for the second part of our training for today. And for this part, you're going to hear more about practical applications on what were discussed by Mr. Francis Kong earlier. So I'll be introducing our next speaker. We have invited a very great speaker for the second part, ladies and gentlemen, and she's very, very ready for you. We have our Executive Two-Star Diamond Director, Miss Lieshel Yambao. Lieshel is a graduate from Far Eastern University, Manila, with a Bachelor of Science degree in Nursing, cum laude, take note. And she took her master's degree in nursing from Pamantasan Lungsod ng Maynila. She's a registered nurse and a registered midwife, actually. And she is also an associate financial planner. She has a 5-year experience as a nurse, mainly in the academe. She is a former clinical instructor from CEU and Makati Med and a national reviewer for NLE nurse licensure examination. All right? Wow. She started doing Usana business in 2011, and after 4 months only of doing the business part-time, she resigned from her previous job and did Usana full-time. Currently, Lieshel is a two-star diamond director of Usana Philippines, a consistent top income earner for 8 consecutive years. She traveled to 16 countries already for free and she's a multiple award recipient in different countries. She's also a mentor to many entrepreneurs of diverse age groups. She's a health advocate and a financial that. She's a loving wife to her husband. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I turn you over to Elle. Good morning.
Hello?
Lieshel,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, and good
Yes,
evening
Lieshel,
to.
please take it away.
Yes, yes. Okay. So let us start. So, guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. So, regardless where you are right now in the world, I would like to welcome you in our second session for today and for this morning. So, please pray for my internet connection, the internet in the Philippines. And also, please pray for my English. We're having a challenge with English, converting English to the session to English. So, did you learn a lot with our previous speaker, with Sir Francis Kong in the morning? Before this session, we already met days ago, and he already gave me a rundown of the topic that will be discussed today. But today, this morning, while I'm listening to him, I'm still amazed, and I learned a lot from the session, and I hope you learned a lot too from this session. And thank you so much, Usana Corporate, for having me today. And I felt so honored for having me as partner of Sir Francis Kong. I hope I would deliver well. Okay, so this morning we learned a lot about habits and life goals. Now, I would like to share to you some tips on how are we going to apply what we learned with Sir Francis in real life situation, especially with Usana, with doing Usana business. Okay, so I'm going to exit this chat box. Okay, so guys, are you ready to learn tonight, this morning? Okay, so who is excited to learn how to apply those habits and make things happen before the end of the year? Okay, can you kindly type in our chat box who among here will be um, getting things done and hitting their goals before the end of 2020? Yes. So I'm seeing 1,000 people here in our Zoom meeting, and a lot of people are declaring that they're going to hit their goals this 2020. Who among here in our Zoom meeting and who among here in our Facebook Live is going to declare that you're going to hit your goal directorship this 2020 before the end of the year 2020? Yes. All right. So I know this year is amazing for the Usana Philippines family. There are a lot of things happening in the world because of we're having a crisis situation, we're having a pandemic, but there's still good things to look at, especially with what's happening with Usana Philippines. We have growth this year. We have lots of rank advancements happening this year, but it's never too late. We still have 4 weeks, I think, no, 5 weeks before the end of the year, and we can still finish the year strong. Okay, so let's proceed. So before I proceed to the topic, I would like to introduce myself again. I'm Lieshel Yambao. I'm a registered nurse midwife, former clinical instructor, entrepreneur, associate financial planner, business mentor, and coach, a financial stewardship advocate, a wife, and a full-time mom. So for those who are seeing me for the first time, nice meeting you here in our Zoom meeting. Now, we have learned from Sir Francis earlier, okay, that, because we have lots of information, we are receiving a lots of information in our world today because we are already in the information age, right? So he taught us about knowledge, which is, when we talk about knowledge, is the input of information. Okay, when we talk about understanding, it means the processing of that information. in our brain, but in terms of wisdom, it's the actual use of those information. So in everyday life, especially here in Usana, we have lots of trainings, we have lots of, mentors and coaches that teach us different things each and every day. But those things with knowledge cannot be converted into understanding, and most especially cannot be converted into wisdom unless you do it on a regular basis. So, what is that thing that can convert the knowledge that we learn each and every day into wisdom? So, what is that thing that makes it into actual thing? So that is the habits. If we apply the things that we learn each and every day, it can be converted from a mere knowledge going to understanding and going to wisdom. So let us put the things that we learned this morning into good use by applying it in our daily lives by means of habits. Okay, so now I would like to discuss some practical application about the things that we learned about habits and life goals this morning. Now, when you joined Usana, when you're a new distributor, who among here can still remember the day he joined, the day he or she joined the business? Yeah, can you kindly type in our chat box? Yes. Okay, who among here can still remember vividly the feelings, the emotions, the vision that you're seeing in your mind the day you join Usana? We are so excited. We are so motivated. We have a lots of dreams and ambitions. We are seeing ourselves becoming gold directors. We are seeing ourselves becoming, diamond directors. We are seeing ourselves earning a lot of income in this business. So when you are a new member, okay, so those feelings are real because those are the things that will keep us going in the first place. Those are the things that will make you move because motivation is what you get started. But during the journey, during your Usana journey, when you start experiencing rejections, when you start experiencing disappointments, when you start experiencing fear, doubt with yourself, that time we have a tendency to lose our motivation. Most of us have the tendency to forget the reason why we start. Okay, so that is the reason why a lot of people quit, even though they have a big, deep why or they have a big vision for themselves. Because when the motivation is lost, you don't know how to move on anymore. So that is where habit will go into place. Because as said in this quote, motivation is what gets you started, but at the end of the day, habit is what keeps you going. Okay? So it's not just important to develop motivation, and it's not just important for you to know your deep why or your vision in this business. It's really important for you to develop also good habits that will help you achieve success in this business. Okay? There are days that we are not always on the top of our game. There are days that we are not inspired. There will be days that we are so disappointed. There will be days that we will be so down. It's not just for the new ones, but also for the older members like me. Like I'm here for 9 years in the business. No, you don't ever think that if you're already a diamond director, you don't get discouraged. No, we're still people. So it's normal for you to feel different kinds of emotions. So during those times that you don't feel like doing it, during those times that you don't feel like working on the business, habit will sustain you whether you're inspired or not. So if you already develop those winning habits within you, even though you feel like quitting or even though you feel like not doing the business, you will still keep on going. You still keep on showing up each and every day because you already develop the good business habits. Okay, so what are those habits that help me succeed in my Usana business? So taking this I will be taking this topic from what Sir Francis have discussed in the morning. Okay, so the first habits of success that he taught us this morning was learn how to count, right? So learn how to count. So this principle, it's really applicable for us, especially here in USANA. Why? Because I have this question for you. So please feel free to type the answer in our chat box. So my session today, I will be showing you a lot of questions. So my favor to each and everyone, please cooperate and please participate. Okay, so if we have questions, can you kindly type the answers in the chat box? Yes. Okay. So it's better if it's interactive, right? So my first question to you is, prior to doing the Usana business, what were your mindset regarding earning money? What's your thinking? How about earning money? Just like what Sir Francis talked about a while ago, diba? There are a lot of things that's going on in our minds regarding earning money, regarding money habits. So before you were an Usana associate, what were your mindset regarding how to earn money? Okay, and what are the things you need to give up just to earn money? What are those things that you are willing to, or you don't have a choice but to sacrifice because you need to earn money? Okay, so those are the things before Usana. Okay, so what's this? More OT. Okay, more OT, more money. So more overtime, more money. Yes. Okay. Work hard to earn, save a little for the future. Yes. Give up time and sleep. Give up vacant time. Continue studying to be promoted. Oh, I have that same mindset. Before, I thought the more titles in your name, the more chances of winning. So the more studies, the higher the grades, the more successful. So that was my money mindset also before. Okay, so let me see what are our comments here in the comment section. Give up relationships, more sidelines. Okay, give up years of accumulated bad habits. What else? Okay, living away from the family. So this is really real scenario here especially here in the Philippines. A lot of people choose to move away from the country to earn money. So those are the things that what's happening in our mind prior to Usana. Okay, so now I have our next question for each and every one of you. Okay, now during your stay here in Usana, while being an Usana associate, what's the change in your money mindset? Okay, what's your mindset regarding earning money, that you are already attending trainings, you are already here in Usana, you are already, have that shift from that employee mindset to entrepreneurial mindset. So what are those things that changed, okay, from before to now? So what are the things that you gained while earning more money? Because you are here in Usana, most of you or some of you are already earning, right? Because this is a special event for those who have growth. So some of us here, or most of us here, experience having extra income or additional income because of the business. So what are those things that you gained more because you're earning more money? Okay, so let me see the chat box. Or this leverage, okay, self-development. You realize the worth of money, that's rather than spending with needs. Okay, helping others to become successful. What else? Working hard so that money can cover up to the third generation. Wow. Oh, so our business here in Usana is a legacy business. I think it's not just for the third generation. I think it's for the all generations to come. Okay? And I can work now with my kids. Before, I was working away with my kids. So that is a nice mindset. Okay, so you have to invest on trainings in order to have more learnings, and yes, that's very right. Invest in your knowledge. Okay, now I would like to share to you what is my money mindset before I became a Usana associate. Before, when I'm not yet in the business, I'm not yet an entrepreneur, I have this mindset, just like the person who put this the comment in the chat box. Like I have to study more, or I have to have higher grades for you to become successful. And the more the more titles you have, the higher your success, and you will become rich. So that was my mindset before I became a Usana associate. So before, when I was working, okay, before Usana, I was working 5 years as a registered nurse here in the Philippines. So I always trade my time and energy to earn money. So I have to give time, I have to give energy just to earn money. If I don't go to work, if I'm not present in my workplace, there will be no money. So even though there's a storm, even though there's a flood, especially here in the Philippines, there are floodings, right? Flooding everywhere. So even though there are lots of risk out there, I cannot afford to go absent, or I cannot afford to lose my job, because the only way I know how to make money is to trade time and energy with money. My mindset also before is the more time I work, the more money I get. Okay, so if I work for 24 hours, that's more money. Okay, so if I want to be rich, I will not be sleeping forever. So, so that is my mindset before when I joined Usana. Then when I stopped working, I stopped earning. So stop retirement is not an option. So before Usana, I never thought that there will be a way for you to earn, even though there will be a decrease in your productivity or the time you give into work. I'm not familiar with the term leverage income, like with the residual income, passive income. Those things are not on my mind before. What I only know is I have to work so I can earn. If I stop working, I stop earning. So, retirement is really not part of the equation. Before, I also thought that you must work forever to achieve more. And the more jobs you have, okay, the more money you will get, the more chances of winning. Okay. Now, because I was able to change my mindset during attending trainings, okay, attending seminars, listening to my mentors, listening to my coaches, my mindset with money drastically changed during my stay here in Usana. So I'm so grateful that I became an entrepreneur, because the way I'm thinking about things really changed because of Usana business. Okay, now I'm here in Usana. My mindset with money is, with more money, if you have more money, you can have more time, right? The more you can earn in this business, the more time you can spend for yourselves and for your loved ones. The more I work hard for my Usana business, the larger my leverage income will get, the more time I will have for myself and for my loved ones. So never be afraid to rank advance to gold. Never be afraid to rank advance to ruby. Never be afraid to rank advance to emerald and diamond. Okay? Some people are already thinking, I don't need that too much money. Diamond income is too much. I think builder income is just enough for me. I'm not a materialistic person. I do not need a large house. I do not need a lot of cars. I just need a simple life. I can even live in the province and just earn some money. We should have an extended, or we should expand our psychological wallet in terms of money, because some people, if we're not used to earning a lot of money, we are tend to be afraid, or we are tend to be worried if we will earn a lot, because we think that we became materialistic, we think that it's too much, we think it's already bad for our health, something like that. But if you're an entrepreneur, always think about this, especially you're here in the Usana business. The more you work hard in this business, okay, the larger your income will get, and the larger your income will get, the more time you will have. If you have more time, you can spend it with yourself, you can spend it with your loved ones, you can spend it developing your mind, you can spend it with quality time with the people that you love. So you can do a lot of things if you have more money, okay? And especially in this business, okay? Next, time is our greatest asset. Once you lose it, you can never get it back. Okay. So before, my mindset with money was just to earn money and earn. Okay. I give time to earn money. But when I became a Usana associate, this business helped me learn that it's not just for us to count just the money alone, but the time we are going to save. Okay, that amount of time that we're going to save, if we can rank advance as early as possible, if we can have our business stable as possible. Because when you lose money, you can get it back. But when you lose time, you can never get it back. So time is the only asset that once it's lost, you can never get it back. And the faster I can get the results, the earlier the time freedom will be. So do you agree? Okay, so do you agree? Now, I know a lot of people in this business that they're taking their time. They're saying that I don't like to be fast. I just want to be, I want to have my own phase. I want to be in a slow facing. I want to be in a medium phase. I'm taking my time. But I just realized that the slower you do the business, the slower you become successful in this business, the longer your agony will be. So why are you keep on, prolonging your agony? If you will become successful as fast as possible in this business, the earlier you will reap the rewards, and the earlier you will be able to enjoy the freedom of time with yourself and with your loved ones. Now, what is this problem, bad habit that keeps us from doing the things that we have to do? So what is this thing? Okay, so we have this term called as the procrastination. So are you familiar with procrastination? Some of us, procrastination is part of their daily lives, okay? Some of us, procrastination is already their best friend. Okay, so guys, remember this. Procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day, until tomorrow, what should have been done the day before yesterday. Okay? So, procrastination, especially in this business, this is the enemy of success. Okay, so we have to stop doing the procrastination. Procrastination is the enemy of success. Sometimes later becomes the never. Okay, I will not do my inviting today, maybe tomorrow. Oh, I will not attend the training today, maybe tomorrow. Oh, I will not talk to my downlines today, maybe tomorrow. Oh, I will not talk to my mentor today, maybe tomorrow. Guys, the later sometimes becomes the never. So the things that you can do today, you have to start doing it immediately. So what are the things that what can we do so that we have to stop this procrastination? So, guys, I'm not saying that I don't feel like procrastinating sometimes. Even me, there are really times that, I cannot help but procrastinate. But what are those things that we can do to hinder or destroy the thing, being in a state of procrastination? So the answer is action. Okay, action will destroy your procrastination. So who among here is familiar with the 5-second rule of Mel Robbins? Okay, so can I see in the chat box who among here is familiar with the 5-second rule of Mel Robbins? Okay, so this 5-second rule, this can be used for you to combat procrastination. Okay, so what is that thing? Okay, the 5-second rule is, if you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill it. For example, you woke up in the morning, okay? Sometimes most of us have a tendency to just lie down for a few minutes, and that few minutes become few hours, or sometimes the alarm goes off and we keep on snoozing, 5 minutes more, 5 minutes more, 5 minutes more, and before you know it, it's already lunchtime, okay? So you lost a lot of time in the morning. So what is this 5-second rule? For example, when you wake up in the morning and your goal is to take a bath immediately, because if you don't take a bath, you won't stand up. Okay, so within the first 5 seconds, you must do it. If you think of something that you must do, within the first 5 seconds that you thought about it, you must do it, because the longer you won't do it, it will end up not doing it at all at the same time. Okay, so the 5-second rule is, you can research that in Google, Mel Robbins. Okay, if you have the instinct to act on your goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain to kill it. So if you want to do the prospecting in 5 seconds, just do it. If you want to attend training, just do it. Okay, if you want to do your inviting, just do it within the next 5 seconds. Just do it. The more you keep on thinking about it, okay, the more you're not going to do it at the end of the day. So we have this term that is called the analyze, paralyze, right? So we keep on thinking of the things, but at the end of the day, you are not able to achieve anything because of too much thinking. Okay, so we have to put into action the things that we're keep the things that we want to do, and the goal with that we want to do. So we should do the things now. Okay, now, prospect now, invite now, present now, attend trainings now, listen to your mentors now, talk to people now, rank advance now, and make things happen now. Okay, so the concept of now, not tomorrow, not next month, not next year, but now. Okay, so it's just a matter of decision. The decision that you are already disgusted with your current situation, the decision that you want to move to the next level, give yourself 5 seconds and start acting on it. If you feel lazy and you feel like procrastinating, just keep on moving. Just keep on showing up, even though you don't feel like it. Just keep on doing the things that you have to do, and before you know it, you're already in the momentum. Before you know it, you can already feel the fire. Before you know it, you can already feel that you want to move to the next level. So in Tagalog, gigil. O, di ba? Feel mo ang gigil. O, di ba? Something like that. Okay, now, why is it important for us not to procrastinate? Okay, so why is it so important for us not to procrastinate? Because if we know the value of time, okay, we will tend to not to procrastinate. So it's important for us to know the value of time. Okay, so as we said here, successful people go by the hours. So let's count by the hours, okay? If we will count by the hours, you will realize that you don't have much time. The reason why we are keep on procrastinating with our goals, the reason we are keep on procrastinating with our dreams, the reason that we are keep on procrastinating on everything, because you feel like you have a lot of time in your hands. You feel like, I'm still young, I'm still in my 20s, there's no rush. Retirement is still far away. I can still enjoy my life right now. YOLO. You only live once, something like that. But if you count by the hours, guys, you will realize you don't have much time. So now let's count the time. So the most promised to a man is 70 years, right? Even in the Bible, or even in the life expectancy, most is 70 years. Okay, so if you live more than 70, that's good. Okay, God gave you a longer life, or you take care of your health and you became healthy. But the usual current life expectancy is 70 years. Now let's say that 70 is our life expectancy. Okay, so let's uh, um, deduct 70 to your current age right now. So those are the years you have left. So 70, if you're 32 years old right now, 70 minus 32, you have 38 years left. Okay, so let's count that. Now, 38 years left. Let's convert it into hours. 38 years times 365 days times 24 hours. So that will be the total hours in your life left. Okay, so if you're younger than 32, you can convert it, or you can compute it into your actual age. If you're older than 32, you can also convert it into your actual age. Okay, now let's have this exercise. So 38 years times 365 days times 24 hours a day, we only have 332,880 hours left in our lives. Now, there are some things that we cannot avoid, like sleeping. We have to sleep. We have to work. We have to eat, okay? We have to travel. We have game time, or internet time, or hobbies, or something like that. Now, let's say that you're going to sleep for 8 hours. So 8 hours times 38 years. Okay, so how much time is that? So that's already 110,960 hours. Okay, you work for 8 hours, every that's hours, not years. You work for 8 hours, okay, every single year remaining. That's another 110,960 hours. You eat 2 hours every day. Okay, so I think most of us don't just eat for 2 hours, right? So let's say that you're so disciplined, and all the time that you're going to eat in every day is just 2 hours. Okay, eating 2 hours in 38 years, that will be 20,000, 27,000 hours. Traveling from one place to another, from work to home, work to home. Okay, another 2 hours, 2 hours in 38 years, 27,740. You are fond of playing internet, wasting your time in YouTube, wasting your time in Google, wasting a lot of time and a lot of things. So let's say you just put it there 2 hours. So 2 hours again, that's 27,000. Now, if you deduct everything, okay, in the 332,000 hours, you only have 27,742 hours left in your life. Now, let's convert that 27,740 hours into years. 27,740 divided by 24 hours divided by 365 days. That is just 3 years. Now you see, we don't have that much time left. So 3 years, the only time left for you to do the things that you like. 3 years to spend with your loved ones. 3 years to go to the places you have never been. 3 years to achieve a lot of things in your life. So guys, we should stop procrastinating as early as possible. Why? Because we don't have that much of time. Okay? Do not think that you're still young. Do not think that you still have a lot of time. Guys, 3 years is the example. Okay? So at the end of the day, we should know the value of time. Okay, so we are already in this industry. We are already in the Usana business. It's not just working hard, but it's also working smart. Before, in my previous jobs, even though I work hard 24 hours a day, even though I work hard 7 days a week, even though I work hard till 65, I know I will not be achieving my dreams. I know I will not be reaching my goals. So that's just plain working hard, right? So why don't we work hard at the same time work smart? Now, since you are already in this industry, you're already in this business, you know that Usana can provide us leverage income. You know that Usana can give us a larger amount of income that we're used to have. So the harder you work on this business, okay, the bigger the results will be. So that will be work smart. So here in this picture, as you can see, right? Don't work hard, work intelligent. But for me, I would like to state it as don't just work hard, work intelligent. Because in this business, you still have to work hard. Okay? It's not just working smart. It's not working smart is not enough. You have to work hard with the right opportunity. So that will be working smart. Now, if you work hard, if you work smart in this business, you will achieve the rewards that you are wanting for the rest of your life. Okay? So that's the time wherein you can appreciate the value of time rather than just working for trading time for money. Okay, so this is my example of my life. Okay, disclaimer. Okay, I have a disclaimer here in the bottom. Okay, now in 9 years doing Usana, we earned $2 million in commission. I just reflected and I realized that if I was afraid 9 years ago, I did not start the business. If I was fearful, if I was skeptical and did not try even to do the business and did not join the business, I'm still working as a nurse right now. And for me to earn $2 million in my job as a nurse, that will take me 1,700 years of working as a nurse before I can earn the $2 million. So what did I gain? Time. Why? Aside from working for 1,700 years, I only work for it 9 years in Usana. So I saved 1,693 years of my life. And I told you guys, okay, once you lose your money, you can still earn money. But once you lose time, it's the only asset that you cannot regain. Okay, so doing Usana business can always provide us the value of time. Doing the Usana business can give us the right mindset in terms of earning money, and time is the most important element in this kind of business. Okay, so guys, did you learn with the tip number one and habit number one? Learn how to count. Now, I hope you learned how to count. We did a lot of math and we did a lot of calculations. Okay, now let's proceed to the second habit. Okay, so second habit that Sir Francis discussed a while ago this morning is celebrate life's greatest rewards with your family. Okay, so here we go. Now, I have a question again for each and every one of you. So, can you kindly type in your chat box, in the chat box, the question: was there a time where you lost the harmony between the other aspects of your life? Okay, so was there a time in your life wherein you felt that there's a huge imbalance of things? Okay, so I'm not going to use the term balance, but harmony. Okay, because it's more on harmony, right? So was there a time where you lost the harmony between the aspects of your life, and why is it? Why did you lose such balance? Why did you lose such harmony? Okay, so let me say, check the chat box. Wow, so a lot of people said yes. So each and every one of us know the feeling if there's a loss in harmony. All of us know the feeling if we lost the balance, right? Okay, now, let me share to you this thing, the seven spokes of life. Who is familiar with the seven spokes of life? Okay. Can you kindly type in the chat box if you're familiar with the seven spokes of life? Okay. The seven spokes of life is, Zig Ziglar said that there are seven spokes or seven approaches to balance of life. So what are these seven important aspects of life? Okay. First is the physical or our health. Next is the personal and social. Next, work and career, family, spiritual, financial, and the mind and intellect. So these things should be in harmony. So these things should be in perfect, no, not perfect balance, but because it's very impossible, right, to achieve the very perfect balance. So these things should be at least balanced with one another. So there should be no spoke that is 0 and the other is 10, something like that. Now, let's have an exercise right now. Okay, let's have an exercise. If you have your pens, if you have your notebooks, you have your phones with you, can you kindly write this thing, or can you kindly do this exercise with me? Now, here's our exercise for this morning. With these seven spokes of life, okay, if you're going to rate it from 0, the lowest, and 10 is the highest, okay? Again, 0 is the lowest and 10 is the highest. What is your score per spoke? So it's, for example, in physical health, how would you grade your physical health at this moment? Okay, so are you in 0? Are you in 10? And how about in personal and social? How are you going to grade your personal and social life? How are you going to grade from 0 to 10 your work and career? How are you going to grade your family life, family relationships? How are you going to grade your spiritual? How are you going to grade your financial? Okay? How are you going to grade your mind and intellect? Okay, so let me see. So some are sharing here in the chat box. So thank you so much for sharing that information. For those who don't like to share, it's okay. You can just write there in your notebooks. Okay, so they're all 5. There's 1. Okay, there's 1 here with 1. The answer is 1. Okay, now who among here have realized, or they felt that there's this one aspect that's always go in the drain? Like there are the some spokes are okay, the some spokes are just so, and there's just this one aspect that's really low. Who among here can feel like that? There's really some aspects of their life was really, really low. Okay, so can you kindly type in our chat box, what is that one aspect in your life, okay, that is really, really low? Okay, what is the lowest? Can you kindly type in the chat box? Okay, so let's see. Financial. So I'm seeing here financial. 0 for financial. Financial, very low. Family, personal and social. Financial. Work and career, financial. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of F here. Financial. Physical. because of full-time work, no time for health, okay? Financial, low financial, so relationships, okay? So I can see that most of the people here in the room right now is telling me that they are low in the financial aspect. So if we're going to check our scores, what are your scores right now? And what area did you lack most? Okay? So as I can see here in our chat box, a lot of people have low in finances. All right? So financial. And because they're low in financial, they're not able to do physical, okay? They focus on working. Okay, if the financial is okay, there will be time. So I saw here, okay, so I know it's financial. Okay, now let me ask you, okay, how can you sana be a vehicle for you to have a more harmonious life? Now, we are aware right now that there are seven important aspects in our life, seven spokes, okay? So, if we have this mind, physical, social, work, career, family, spiritual, financial. Now, because most of us, okay, because most of us lack in one of these things, the other aspects are affected. The other aspects also go in the drain. Like for some, or for most of the people who commented here in the chat box, they said that they have low financial. Because of that low financial, okay, they suffer from work, they suffer from physical health, they don't have time for family. Sometimes they don't even have time for the spiritual thing or going to church or are improving self because they are focused on working on the financial. So that's my question to you. How do you think Usana can help you? Or how do you think Usana can be a vehicle for you to achieve a more harmonious life? Okay, so how do you think it's gonna happen? Okay, can I see in the chat box? What do you think? If you're going to work hard on this business, if you're going to become successful in your Sana business, if you can rank advance, if you can be a diamond director, earning a diamond director income, how can be Usana a vehicle for you to have a more balanced aspects of life or more harmonious life? Okay, so the answer here I'm seeing here is the financial stability, the time freedom, it will generate the energy, etc. Okay, now the harder we work in our business, the smarter we work in our business, it can provide us the leverage income in the long run, right? Am I right? Okay, so I'm not saying that it will happen immediately. I'm saying it in the long run. So we are all aware that this business will take time to build. Tama? So, right? So this business will take a reasonable amount of time before you can measure success, because at the end of the day, the income here is exponential. Now, increased income in your Usana business, the harder you work, the smarter you work, it can give you more leverage income in the long run. Increased income and will give you increased time available. Now, if you have more time available, okay, there will be a lot of time for you to spend on the other aspects of your life, right? You will not, you will not work for a very long time. You are not going to work for hard without seeing your family for a very long time, because if the Usana income can provide you increased income, it will give you increased time available, and you will have more time to spend with yourself and with your family. But okay, remember this. It won't come immediately. The income will not be there the moment you join. The income will not be even there in your first year. Okay? The income will not be there in your first few months. Be aware that there will be necessary sacrifices at first. Okay? So I know all of us have sacrifices right now. Or a lot of people right now are sacrificing something to achieve more. Okay? But at the end of the day, those sacrifices are all worth it, because if you will have a stable income in this business, if you will have more time in this business, you will be able to have a more harmonious life in the future. Okay, now I would like to share to you my experience, okay, with this. This is my son, Miguel. He's 4 years old, okay. So I gave birth. I started my Usana business with the age of when I was 25 years old, and I gave birth 30 years old, okay. So I was already a one-star diamond director back then when I gave birth to my son, and that time, that's the time when I realized that how we are so blessed. We are so blessed to become part of this company. We are so blessed to have this opportunity, because if I'm not with Usana, if I'm not experiencing the leveraged income and the time freedom, which I built the business way back before I had my child, I will not be able to become a present parent. Okay, so ever since he was born, I'm able to become present at his side. I was able to monitor his growth. I was able to see him grow. I was able to be with him every single day. I was able to share my values, teach my values to my child every single day. And I'm so thankful to God for leading me in this business, because if I'm not here, if I'm still working abroad, maybe I'm not with my child at this point, or at this moment. If I'm working 12 hours a day in the hospital, or if I'm working two jobs, like 16 hours a day, maybe my child is not able to see me each and every day. But because I'm here in this business, especially now, it's home based, especially now that we can do it online, we can be a present parent at the same time, not sacrifice the income. So we are able to secure a better future for our children. So we are so lucky to be in this industry. We are so lucky to be in this company. So if you are still single right now, you will also have family in the future. You will also have your own child in the future. Start working on your business now. Do not delay. Okay? Hit the diamond as early as possible. Now, if you already have family right now, you have your children, you have your husband or your wife, Usana business is the perfect business for you to have more time to be able to spend with them in the future. Okay, so this is my husband, Benj. Okay, we are doing the business together. Tip for you is each and every family have their own routine. Okay, so you have to discover what will work for your family. So during my training time, like example now, I'm here in front together with you. I'm doing my training. My husband is the one looking out for our child. So just find something that will work out for your family. Okay, because it's also a partnership between the husband and the wife. Okay, and another tip for you, time management is very important, and discipline, because we have a lot of aspects in our life that's important. Okay, the seven spokes, as I've said. Now you cannot do everything all at the same time. That's why it's really very difficult to have the perfect balance. I'm not sure if there's a person which have the perfect balance. I'm not sure. I'm working on it. I'm doing my best to have a balance and harmonious life. But I think time management is very important. If you want to achieve that harmony in the future, if you want to really, give time to all of the important things in your life, time management is very crucial. I know your mentors, your coaches are always telling you, use your planner, get your planner, plan your week ahead, plan your goals, plan your activities, plan everything. Guys, I will not be uh what do you call this, telling you not to do it. I'm telling you to for you to do it each and every single day. You have to use your planners. You have to do time management effectively. And it's not just planning, it's not just writing things in the planner, it's not just that, it's more on executing what are the things that you wrote in those planners. I know a lot of people who's good in planning. Okay, they can create a very very colorful planner, with this cute stuff. Okay, different kinds of pens, but it doesn't make sense if you're not going to do it. it doesn't end with planning. If you plan something, you have to have the discipline to execute all the plans that you written in those planner. Okay, so now it's going to be end of the year. It's November 2020. I hope that the planner that you purchased for the year 2020, you're able to write something there, or is it still empty before the end of the year? So it's a waste of a notebook. Okay, so I know a lot of people who keeps on buying planners, but the one year have passed, they have not written anything on those planners. So please use them. Okay, please use them wisely and have the discipline to execute everything that's written in the plan. So as a parent, I have this tendency to have this feeling of mommy guilt. Okay, before, when I'm still, I'm still childless, I don't have a child before, I can do Usana even 16 hours a day. But when I had my child, I have this feeling of guilt sometimes that I'm not able to spend all the time with him, or I'm not able to spend all the time with my family. But when I learned the art of time management, you just have to give time to everything that you need to do. You have to give time for your family. You have to give time for your spirituality. You have to give time for learning. You have to give time for your Usana business. You cannot expect to have results without even giving time to your business, right? So you have to put in your planner what are the things that you need to do with your business. So when I learned the art of time management and I learned the discipline of really executing the things that I write in my planner, that time I was able to, give more give time of myself to each and every important aspect of my life. Okay, so for those parents out there listening to me, okay, you don't have to feel guilty. You just have to be present in whatever you are doing. If you're doing Usana, be present in Usana. If you're taking care of your child, then be present at that time. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever the time you allotted for something, just be present there. Give your best, give your 100% attention, and focus on where you are at the present. Okay, so that's my tip for you. So discipline is doing what needs to be done, even if you don't want to do it. Okay, so even if you're feeling lazy, maybe even if you're feeling, restless, or you're feeling something you don't like feel doing it, the discipline will keep you doing the things that you need to be done. And number three, okay, number three, habit that Sir Francis taught us this morning is feed your mind with good thoughts. So, as a Usana associate, it's really important every single day that you feed your mind with positive and good thoughts. Okay, it's not just feeding your mind with, because everything that we put in our mind, that's what we show, right? So if we put trash in our mind, it will show on those on the words we say and the actions we do. So if we feed our mind with positive thoughts, if we feed our mind with positive things, okay, so our results will also become positive. So before, when I'm new, okay, in my first 2 months in this business, I did not earn anything. Okay, so I would like to share it to each and every one of you. In my first 2 months in this business, I was not able to earn anything. Zero income first 2 months. Why? Because I have this fixed mindset. Fixed mindset in just doing the business. What is that fixed mindset? I don't have talent for sales. Just like Sir Francis told us a while ago in the morning, right? Some people think that it's just the talent will make you successful. So that's my mindset when I was starting is, I don't have talent for sales. I cannot sell anything. It's so difficult to sell products. I can't do it. This is not my line of work. I'm a nurse. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a business person. Okay? Okay, I will just try to invite my friend. But if my friend don't go to the presentation, it's the sign I will quit. Something like that. So that's my mindset when I'm starting the business. I'm just in the, there's no commitment, but just trying. Try. If it doesn't work, I will quit. Okay? I won't listen to my uplines because I'm better than them. I'm a nurse. My upline is an IT. Why should I listen to my upline? My upline is an accountant. Why should I listen to my upline? How the hell did he know about health? So there's this mindset like that before. Like, it's too hard. It's too hard to be rejected. It's too hard to talk to people. People think it's a scam. People think it's a pyramid. It's really hard to do it. Something like that. I don't have enough prospects. Oh, I already invited 10 and none of them came to the presentation. I already presented to 20 people and no one joined. So I think this is not for me. I think I will quit, something like that. So that was my mindset when I was starting. So that's why my first 2 months in the business, I was not able to earn anything. I cannot take rejections and I have this victim mentality. So what is this victim mentality? It's the fault of everyone except me. It's the fault of the company. It's the fault of the corporate. It's the fault of the team. It's the fault of the upline. Everyone's at fault except me. I fail to look at myself. I fail to look at the things that I'm not able to do. I keep on blaming a lot of things around me for not becoming successful. I remember the day I called my upline, my sponsor, I was ready to quit. That was during my second month in the business. I'm ready to give up on the auto order before I turn to third month in the business, because I felt that the company is not good. I'm not earning. The team is not good. I'm not earning. You, my upline, it's your fault. I'm not earning because of you are not competent. You are so incompetent, something like that. So I have this victim mentality before, but my upline told me this one thing that really changed my mind. Before I quit, she told me that before you think of quitting, why not try to do your best first? Try doing your best first, and you will know how far this business will go. You will really know the potential of this business. You will really know your best potential if you start doing your best. So that day, I changed my mindset, okay, into something that not focus on other people and blaming on other people, but looking at myself. What are the things that I can improve on myself? What are the things that I can do best with myself for me to get the results? So I have this question for you here, for those who are listening to me right now. Okay, what are the self-limiting beliefs that hinders you to become successful? Okay, so can you kindly type in the chat box, what are those things that limits you to become successful? What are those things that limits you to not to rank advanced? What are those things that keeps on going in your mind that limits you from doing what you have to do? Okay, so I'm going to check the chat box. Pride. I don't have market. I'm not good like the others. I'm not ready yet. Yes, I know this. Lack of focus. I don't have time. Okay, I'm part-time, I don't have time. Complacency, rejections, laziness, something like that. Not trying to do my best. Okay, so these are the self-limiting beliefs. So guys, these are in our mindset. These are the things that keeps us having the fixed mindset. Okay, so now let's shift into the growth mindset. So the day I decided to do my best, what are the things that kept me going with a growth mindset in order for me to achieve success in this business? First, it's my fault attitude. Do not look into your upline. Do not look into the company. Do not look into the team or whatever. Just focus on yourself. Whatever the results you're getting, whatever the income you're getting each and every week, it's your fault. Okay, because my upline did not put spill over, because the other person there, she ranked advanced to gold because her upline put some people under her organization, and me, I don't have. That's why, I'm not getting successful. Guys, it's your fault. Whatever it is, whatever the results you will have, it's your fault attitude. Okay, so let's focus on improving ourselves. Let's focus on thinking, what can we do more, instead of looking into other people, instead of looking into other places around us. Okay, let's focus on the things that we can control. Those things are our attitudes, our belief, our mindset. Okay, you can become a better presenter, diba? Before other people think, I cannot do presentation, it's too difficult, I will ask my upline to do it, she's better than me. Okay, so always think you can become better as long as you keep on practicing. You'll improve every day. It's there's no such thing as no prospects. There's no such thing as no market. There are too many fishes in the ocean. There are billions of people in the planet. Okay, there are billions of people in the universe. Okay, so there's no such thing as shortage of prospects. There's no such thing as you don't know anyone. Okay, there's no such thing as like that. You listen to your and trust your uplines. Listen to the people who are already successful. Trust the people who are really concerned with your well-being. They want you to become successful and work with them. Challenges are part of any business. Do not hope for a challenge-free life. We have to pray to become stronger, right? Because challenges are really part of any kind of business. Learning never stops. Even though you have some sort of result, you're already a gold director, you're already a diamond director, you're already what a star diamond director. Learning never stops. The day you stop learning, you will stop earning. And measure success with a reasonable amount of time. Okay? So do not think that I will just try this business for 1 month and I will see if it's for me. You have to measure success with a reasonable amount of time. This business will take time for you to grow it. This business is exponential. You cannot see the results in few days. You cannot see the results in few months. You have to build the business consistently with the reasonable amount of time before you can see the results that you're looking for. Okay? And okay, last but not the least habit that Sir Francis shared with us today and this morning is invest in your personal relationship with God. Okay, so I know that each and every one of us here in this Zoom room, and I have this another Zoom room countries beside me, okay? In Indonesia and Thailand, we have a different sets of beliefs. We have different sets of belief in a supreme being. But for me, this number 4 habit is really, really important. It really changed my life because, before when I starting in the business, I just tend to rely on myself. I tend to think that everything that I have, all the results that I'm getting is because of me. It's because of my own power. It's because of my own learning. It's because of my own knowledge. But when I realize at the end of the day, everything that we have, all the results that we can get, all the downlines we have, all the teammates that we will have, all the income that we will have, God is the one who is going to give it to us. Okay? Sometimes He wants to bless us, but if you're not yet ready, okay, He's not yet giving the blessings to you because sometimes it will result to you becoming not a better person. Okay, so sometimes He wants us to learn something before He can bless us. Now, when I learned this, I realized that everything that I have is because of God. All the strength that I have, all the knowledge that I have, the talent that I have, the gift of speaking that I have came from the Lord. So all my goals in this business, all my dreams in this business, all my aspirations in this business, I want to align it, my heart and my mind, with God's plan and not with my own plans. So Pablo Picasso said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Now we are already in this business. God allowed you to be in this business. There are no accidents. The fact that you are here, the fact that you became a Usana associate, it's God's will. And since it's God's will, He has a purpose for you, right? You already know that this business can help a lot of people. This business can change the lives of many people. So please use that gift. Please become an instrument of blessing to other people. Okay? Let's find purpose in what we do. Let's find meaning in what we do. It's not just money. It's not just having a luxurious life. It's not just owning a lot of cars. It's not just owning a big house. But what is the purpose? What is the meaning? What is the significance of we doing the business in becoming instrument of blessings to the lives of other people? And this is what I believe in. Whatever we do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. So complacency, procrastination should not be part of the equation, because in everything that we do, it's not ourselves who are the boss, it's not our boss, but it's God who is the real master of all and everything. Okay? So, let me ask you another question before we end. Can you kindly type in our chat box right now? From everything that you learned in the habits that we learned today, what are the things that you will stop doing? Okay, so can you kindly type in our chat box, what are those bad habits that we will stop doing as of today? Okay, Sir Francis said this morning that it's not just possible to just stop the habit, but you have to replace it with another habit. Okay, so the reason why people cannot stop the habit or a bad habit, because they're not replacing it with a good one. So we just have to replace. So what are the things you need to stop and replace? Okay, so take it. Let me see. Procrastination, fixed minds, laziness, fear of rejection, being shy, scrolling down FB. Okay, wait. How about wasting time, too much Netflix? How about that? How about wasting time, too much games? How about wasting time, too much drama and emote or something like that? Okay, wasting time, too much thinking or something like that. And let me ask you this next question. If you're going to stop the habit and replace it with the good habit, what are the things that you will start doing as of today? Okay, so let's see in the chat box, what are those things that you are going to start doing as of today? Plan and focus, productive, execute, do not delay. Okay? Too much eating and online shopping. Massive action, concentrate, resiliency. Time is now. So a lot of things. So guys, after this session, please sit down with your notebook and list all the things that you want to stop doing, and list all the things that you want to start doing based on what we have learned today with our two sessions. Okay, so it's the time for us to break the bad habits and make the better one. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. God bless and good afternoon to all of you. Thank you so much. Giving back the mic to our host, Miss Ivy. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Lieshel. Wow. The chat box was just exploding with comments, Lieshel. That was a very interactive and very full of learnings. No, that talk was great, Lieshel, and you sure drove home the messages, the discussion that Sir Francis Kong discussed earlier. Thank you so much. Our executive two-star diamond director, Miss Lieshel Yambao. And so, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I will turn you over to our beloved Regional Vice President for Philippines, Thailand, and Indonesia for the recap and for her message to all of us. May I call now Ma'am Duday Gaston.
Thank you. Thank you,
Duday.
everyone. I hope you had good learnings today. It is really a power packed training for today. Thank you for Francis, and most especially to Lieshel as well. Thank you very much for translating all those principles into practical application, especially in our life in Usana. So I will not take this long. I know we're a little bit over time already, and you're maybe a little bit hungry already. So let us. I just want to remind all of you to make habits of make winning habits, as Lieshel has said. I started doing the count, and it really gets into your nerve to realize that you have only how many years to live productively and to be able to contribute to this world, making a life of significance. Incidentally, making a life of significance is also one of our major topic at the end of all this training series. Okay, so again, thank you very much for all of you. Let us not just learn how to count the money, okay, but most especially let us learn how to count all our blessings. That's the most important thing at this point, because we are in a pandemic. This is the time that it's almost going to be over. Hopefully, it's almost going to be over. So let us not look back at the time that we were all locked down for a year and did we not able to make a life of significance out of this. Okay, we are all part of this global history. When I was having breakfast with my mom this morning, and we were talking about this pandemic, it made me realize that our parents went through different series of global crises, right? They went through a post-war. My mom is 89 years old. And I realized that she experienced the time of the Pearl Harbor, the Japanese War. He experienced the time of the Great Depressions, okay, economic depressions. She also experienced the time of the great pandemic of tuberculosis, of cholera, and we all have vaccines now for all these things, right? He even experienced EDSA revolution, EDSA DOS, and all these different revolution, and now the time of pandemic. And I always asked her, so what have you experienced from all this experience? And he said, for every global crisis that is there, learn to you have some certain learnings, and I hope we have certain learnings. So, and the greatest significant learning that we have right now is appreciation of time, because we all have the time in our hands. We don't have traffic. We don't have, we have great time in our hands right now. So this is one of the greatest blessings that we have. Lieshel talks a lot about time. Francis talks a lot about time and mindset, okay? And this is a great blessing for us because now we have all the time in our hands, okay? So it is one great blessing to appreciate it, okay? Value all the relationship, and, one of the greatest blessing also is for you to be able to have count your blessings, right? The appreciation of being able to do that. Okay, so we are in this business. It's a growing business. Okay, this is the time for us to really grow the business. So I hope you make the most of your time. Okay, so thank you everyone, to all of you. Thank you, and we hope to see you again. Thank you very much. I hope you learned a lot. So catch those dreams, everyone, and God bless everyone. Thank you.